In the dramatic town of as plentiful as heartbeats, July sweeps promise to bring twists and turns that will alter lives forever. Sarah Horton Kyriakis finds herself tangled in an increasingly desperate battle for custody of her beloved daughter, Victoria Kyriakis. The source of her fears? Xander Kyriakis, a man whose dark past and cunning nature have made Sarah's anxiety skyrocket. Xander has hinted ominously to Melinda Trask that he may not play by the rules to secure custody of Victoria. Sarah's intuition tells her he's capable of anything, even something dangerously illegal, to get what he desires. Desperate and feeling increasingly vulnerable, Sarah turns for comfort and support to Brady Black, whose own complicated history is etched with tragedy and resilience. Eric Martsolf masterfully portrays Brady, a man who knows better than most what it's like to have your child pulled from your grasp. Their recent closeness has not gone unnoticed by the residents of Salem, and speculation about a burgeoning romance is rampant. But could friendship blossom into true love? Meanwhile, Rachel Black, Brady's precocious and intuitive daughter, played brilliantly by Alice Halsey, is about to uncover a startling revelation. For the first year of Rachel's life, Sarah acted as her mother, caring for her and loving her deeply. Yet Rachel has remained unaware of this poignant truth hidden beneath layers of family drama and protective lies. When Brady finally shares this sensitive secret with his daughter, Rachel's initial shock and confusion will surely rock her young world. Despite her initial emotional turmoil, Rachel's reaction surprises everyone, including herself. Instead of resenting Sarah, Rachel feels an undeniable connection and warmth toward her. Sarah's gentle, nurturing nature contrasts sharply with the volatility Rachel has known with her birth mother, Kristen, whose presence in Rachel's life has been as unpredictable as it is passionate. Rachel begins to envision Sarah as the mother she has always longed for, stable, loving, and consistently present. Yet Salem would not be Salem without an explosive response from Kristen, portrayed by Stacey Hayduke. Recently, Kristen has been uncharacteristically pleasant, even agreeable, making everyone wonder when her darker impulses would resurface. Kristen's fragile peace hinges precariously on the love and loyalty of her daughter Rachel and her complicated history with Brady. Seeing Sarah not only capture Brady's heart but also claim a cherished place in Rachel's life triggers Kristen's infamous jealousy and possessiveness. Kristen's transformation from calm to vengeful is swift and chilling. Convinced that Sarah intends to replace her entirely in both Brady and Rachel's hearts, Kristen's anger becomes dangerously obsessive. Haunted by insecurity and fueled by rage, Kristen plots an elaborate and terrifying revenge. She decides that Sarah must pay the ultimate price for intruding on her family, her child, and the man she loves. As Kristen's schemes unfold, Salem braces itself for the impact. Brady, caught between loyalty to the woman he once loved and the new love he sees blossoming with Sarah, must navigate treacherous waters. His first priority remains Rachel, but how can he protect his daughter from the chaos Kristen inevitably creates? For Rachel, this ordeal proves harrowing yet transformative. Her desire to have Sarah as a true mother figure intensifies in the face of Kristen's unraveling. Rachel's innocent yet earnest wishes tug at Sarah's heartstrings, further strengthening their bond. Sarah herself must rise to meet the dangerous challenge Kristen poses. Known more for her compassion than her confrontational nature, Sarah discovers hidden depths of strength and courage. Determined to protect both Rachel and Victoria, she becomes a formidable opponent to Kristen's manipulations. As July sweeps rush forward, Days of Our Lives viewers will find themselves at the edge of their seats, hearts racing with anticipation. Will Brady finally allow himself to embrace happiness with Sarah, despite the turmoil it causes? Will Rachel finally experience the stable, nurturing family environment she's always longed for, or will Kristen's vengeance destroy every dream in its path? In Salem, love and revenge walk hand in hand, and the consequences of these July sweeps will resonate for months or even years to come. A storm of vengeance, Kristen DiMera's wrath unleashes in Salem, in the picturesque yet perpetually tumultuous town of Salem, where secrets simmer beneath the surface and loyalties shift like sand. Days of Our Lives, DOL, is setting the stage for a dramatic showdown that promises to shake the very foundations of its beloved characters' lives. As the July 2025 sweeps approach, spoilers reveal a brewing storm of betrayal, heartbreak, and revenge, with Kristen DiMera, Stacey Hayduk, and Sarah Horton Kiriakis, Lindsay Godfrey, at the heart of a feud that could engulf all of Salem in its fiery aftermath. This tale of vengeance is steeped in a history of mistrust, manipulation, and buried truths, and it's poised to deliver the kind of emotional roller coaster that keeps viewers glued to their screens. Buckle up as we dive into the tangled web of Kristen and Sarah's past, their present conflicts, and the explosive path to retribution that lies ahead. A history of bad blood, Kristen and Sarah's rocky past. To understand the depth of Kristen DiMera's potential for revenge, one must first unravel the complex history she shares with Sarah Horton. Their relationship has never been one of warmth or camaraderie. Instead, it's been marked by suspicion, rivalry, and moments of outright hostility. Kristen, with her cunning intellect and penchant for manipulation, has long been a polarizing figure in Salem. Her love for Brady Eric Martsolf has driven her to extreme lengths, from schemes that defy morality to acts that teeter on the edge of madness. Sarah, on the other hand, is a woman of compassion and resilience, but her own choices have sometimes blurred the lines between right and wrong, especially when it comes to protecting those she loves. Their animosity traces back to a pivotal moment in Salem's history, the shocking baby swap that rocked the town to its core. Years ago, Kristen, in a desperate bid to secure her place in Brady's life, orchestrated a heart-wrenching scheme involving Sarah. At the time, Sarah was pregnant with Eric Brady's child, but tragedy struck when the baby, believed to be Mackenzie, died shortly after birth, or so Sarah thought. Unbeknownst to her, Kristen, with the help of her devious allies, swapped Sarah's living child with another, leaving Sarah to grieve a loss that wasn't real. The truth eventually came to light, but the scars of that betrayal linger, a festering wound in Sarah's heart that fuels her distrust of Kristen. For Kristen, the baby swap was just one of many calculated moves to protect her own interests, particularly her bond with Brady and their daughter, Rachel Alice Halsey. But for Sarah, it was a violation of the deepest kind, a theft of her motherhood that she can never fully forgive. This history sets the stage for their current conflict, where old wounds are reopened and new betrayals threaten to ignite a firestorm of vengeance. The custody battle, a spark for revenge. Fast forward to July 2025, and the stakes in Salem are higher than ever. Sarah Horton Kiriakis finds herself embroiled in a bitter custody battle over her daughter, Victoria Kiriakis, Amelia and Kennedy Heilman, with her estranged husband, Xander Kiriakis, Paul Telfer. Xander, a man whose charm is matched only by his willingness to bend the rules, is not one to play fair when it comes to getting what he wants. Sarah knows this all too well, and her heart races with anxiety at the thought of what Xander might do to secure sole custody of their little girl. Whispers of his conversation with Melinda Trask, Tina Huang, hint at something sinister, a plan that could involve illegal tactics to tip the scales in his favor. Sarah's fear is palpable. She's seen Xander's darker side, the ruthless determination that has led him to cross moral lines in the past. He'll do anything to win, she confides to a friend, her voice trembling with a mix of dread and resolve. If Xander succeeds in his underhanded schemes, Sarah could lose Victoria, a prospect that fills her with a mother's fierce desperation. In her moment of vulnerability, Sarah turns to an unlikely ally, Brady, a man who understands the pain of fighting for a child's future. Brady and Sarah, a growing bond. Brady and Sarah's friendship has been a quiet source of strength in recent months, a beacon of light in the chaos of Salem. Their shared experiences as parents navigating complex family dynamics have drawn them closer, and their conversations are filled with a warmth that hints at something deeper. As Sarah pours out her fears about the custody battle, Brady listens with the empathy of someone who's walked a similar path. His own struggles with Kristen over their daughter, Rachel, have left him battle-scarred but wiser, and he offers Sarah the kind of support that only a true friend can provide. Yet, as their bond deepens, whispers of romance begin to swirl. Could Sarah and Brady be on the cusp of something more? The chemistry between them is undeniable, a spark that threatens to ignite into a flame. For Sarah, Brady represents stability, a stark contrast to Xander's unpredictable nature. For Brady, Sarah is a reminder of the goodness that still exists in a world often clouded by betrayal. But this growing connection is a dangerous one, for it places Sarah squarely in Kristen DiMera's crosshairs. Rachel's discovery, a truth that shatters adding fuel to the fire, is a revelation that could change everything. Rachel Black, Brady and Kristen's daughter, is about to learn a shocking truth about her early years. Unbeknownst to Rachel, Sarah played a pivotal role in her life during her first year, acting as a surrogate mother when Kristen was unable to care for her. This secret, long buried in the annals of Salem's history, has been bubbling to the surface, with Brady recently acknowledging that Rachel deserves to know the truth. When Rachel discovers that Sarah was her caregiver, her initial reaction is one of shock and confusion. The little girl, with her wide eyes and tender heart, struggles to process the idea that Sarah, a woman she's grown to love, was once her primary source of comfort. "Why didn't anyone tell me?" Rachel might ask, her voice quivering with the betrayal of a child who feels left in the dark. But as the truth settles, it could bring Rachel closer to Sarah, forging a bond that feels like a betrayal to Kristen. For Kristen, this revelation is a dagger to the heart. She's worked tirelessly to rebuild her relationship with Rachel, to prove that she's a worthy mother despite her checkered past. The idea that Sarah could step into a maternal role even in retrospect is unbearable. Worse still, the growing closeness between Sarah and Brady threatens to steal the man Kristen has never stopped loving. Kristen's calm facade, carefully maintained in recent months, begins to crack, revealing the fiery tempest of jealousy and rage that lies beneath. Kristen's descent. The makings of revenge. Kristen DiMera has been uncharacteristically well-behaved of late, a fact that has lulled Salem into a false sense of security. But those who know her best understand that Kristen's quiet periods are often the calm before the storm. The combination of Sarah's deepening bond with Brady and her newfound connection with Rachel is the perfect catalyst for Kristen's darker instincts to resurface. "How dare she?" Kristen might hiss, her eyes blazing with fury as she paces her lavish DiMera mansion. "Sarah thinks she can take my daughter and my man? She'll pay for this." Kristen's history of vengeance is legendary in Salem. From orchestrating elaborate schemes to exacting brutal retribution, she's never been one to let a slight go unpunished. Sarah's perceived theft of Brady's heart and Rachel's affection is more than a personal affront, it's a declaration of war. Kristen's mind races with possibilities, each more devious than the last. She could expose Sarah's own secrets, perhaps digging into her past to uncover something that could discredit her in the custody battle. Or she might target Sarah's relationship with Xander, planting seeds of doubt to drive a wedge between them. Whatever her plan, one thing is certain: Kristen's revenge will be as calculated as it is ruthless. The emotional fallout, a town on edge. As Kristen's wrath begins to take shape, the ripple effects are felt across Salem. Brady, caught between his loyalty to Sarah and his complicated history with Kristen, finds himself torn. He wants to protect Rachel, but he also can't ignore the pull he feels towards Sarah. "I just want what's best for everyone," he might say, his voice heavy with the weight of his choices. But in Salem, doing what's best often comes at a steep cost. Sarah, meanwhile, is unaware of the storm brewing in Kristen's heart. Her focus remains on Victoria and the custody battle with Xander, but the growing connection with Brady offers a glimmer of hope in her darkest moments. Yet, as Kristen's schemes unfold, Sarah may find herself facing threats she never anticipated. The hospital where she works, once a sanctuary, could become a battleground, with Kristen's influence creeping into every corner. Rachel, too, is caught in the crossfire. The revelation about Sarah's role in her life is both a gift and a burden, bringing her closer to a woman she admires but also complicating her relationship with her mother. Rachel's innocence is a stark contrast to the adult conflicts swirling around her, and her journey to understand her place in this tangled web will tug at viewers' heartstrings. A summer of suspense in Salem. As the July sweeps unfold, Days of Our Lives promises a summer filled with suspense, heartbreak, and the kind of drama that only Salem can deliver. Kristen DiMera's quest for revenge against Sarah Horton Kyriakis is set to be a centerpiece of this chapter, a clash of titans that will leave no one unscathed. Will Kristen's schemes succeed in tearing Sarah down, or will Sarah's resilience and the support of her friends help her weather the storm? Can Brady navigate the treacherous waters of his relationships with both women, or will he become collateral damage in Kristen's war? One thing is certain. In Salem, no secret stays buried forever and no grudge goes unanswered. As Kristen sharpens her claws and Sarah braces for the fight of her life, viewers are in for a wild ride. Tune into Days of Our Lives this July to witness the fireworks, both literal and figurative, as the battle for love, family, and revenge takes center stage. In a town where every day is a drama, this is one story you won't want to miss.
All new Days of Our Lives, only on Peacock.